Every rap is intentional, a reminder that we are all connected, from the cosmos to the core. Welcome back, family, to the frequency.
Here, we honor the stone people, the record keepers, ancient memory.
Tonight, we listen to our elders, the wise women, the seers.
Ache.
Who we with tonight and what we about to do, God as I am said?
Man, we're about to turn this all the way up. I am SCG 13, representing Master Vibration 13 and Infinite Air Ministries. And it is that time. It is that time to raise the vibrational frequency of the planet through nature, through the minerals, through the stones, through the gold, through the silver, through our Ache. Is that time. So we got a treat for y'all tonight. So many amazing beings here on this platform tonight. I am honored and excited to be here.
I say, thank you so much for that. And tonight is Mineral Report. I know I haven't done one in a while, but I try to bring some of the best mineral alchemists from all across the land together because each one of y'all are what they call back in the day, they just call it the poor righteous teachers. We ain't poor no more, you know what I'm saying? Now everybody understand what these minerals are and everything else. We got a young elder, he's gonna bear witness to a lot of the different jewelry and things like that, so we can get some more eyes to each one of our products, number one. And in doing so, you like say with organ energies that you create, you're helping people. With the pieces that she creates, she's helping people. With each one of the pieces that we're doing, we're bringing what they want so they can learn what we came to bring. So with no further ado, yo, young elder, what you got before we get started?
Not much. I just want to see what y'all got on the stones, the activating the stones, all it. What kind of stones you got?
I say,
Yeah.
Ache.
I say, young elder said impress him. So shit, with no further ado, I am said, tell us about yourself and your business and what are you bringing to the mineral world tonight?
The work that I do is I help people remember who they are through the work of the minerals, through orgone energy batteries. And what orgone energy batteries are crystals, metals, and resin. When you put the crystals, metals, and resin together, it creates a scalar wave. A scalar wave is a multidimensional energy that moves faster than the speed of light and is going to protect you from electromagnetic frequencies, from digital pollution, and negative energy. And so what I do is I help people work with these tools. I teach people how to make them. For the first time in 13 years that I've been doing this, this is the first time ancestors said it's time to go, and we're going. So when you work with this orgone technology, it helps you take away all of the debris, all kind of parasites from the brain come out, and you're able to think for yourself. And when you're able to think for yourself, you're able to make connections with source. And when you're able to make that connection with source, then your healing begins, right? And so once you start diving into in my whole program, I have a 9 chakra cleanse. Most people practice the 7 because you already know the powers that were. They always trying to cheat somebody, right? So they didn't want to talk about the 9. And the 9 is important because that first chakra that's right below your feet, that is the Earth Star chakra, and that connects you to ancestors, like all of them. It's like a tree, right? And then you go up to the root. And then above the head, you have the solar star chakra that connects you with all the energies above, angels, spirits, everything, right? And so when you have those aligned in yourself, you're able to discern, you're able to see what's what, and you're able to remember who you are. And Sankofa, that means remember all of your gifts from your past lifetimes, then you bring them into this lifetime so you could go ahead and rock out. And then I talk to you about protecting your intellectual property, right? Because that's important. And I teach you about private ministry through Infinity Ministries. And so, that's just how we get down. It's really about, a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what ministry is. And when they think of ministry, they think that it's like God, Jesus, Jehovah, whatever. That's not what ministry is. I am a servant of the creator of infinite intelligence. I get my direction completely from source. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I am my own government, and I know how to protect and defend it. And it came by way of working with the stones. Where I am today in my life, my family, I have a son who's 33 years old. They had said that he was bipolar, autistic, and schizophrenic, right? Well, when we started working with the organ and with natural tools and with natural herbs, oh, he healed from a lot of things. And so organ technology was a really big part of it. But this is not something that you could really talk about to people because they don't recognize what it is. So I had to protect my intellectual property. I had to protect the work of my ancestors, and I had to make sure and go private. And so in a nutshell, what I do is I help people remember who they are, remember their gifts. And once you remember it, I teach you how to protect it so that you're able to stand on your own with your sovereign rights as an independent minister protected by the Constitution. Congress, microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise thereof. And so when you recognize what that really means, then you know, can't nobody fuck with you unless you allow it. Ache, I yield.
I say, thank you so much. Young elder, did you see what was in her hand?
You look like a crystal ball. Oh no, that's something else.
This is a wand.
Yeah, one.
Now, one, I gotta give you a lot of love because you most definitely be putting on for the women and teaching the women and bringing our women back to their greatness, right?
Ache,
Well,
yeah.
what she's doing right now with those organ energies is actually protecting the women whether they know it or not. Our women always keep the cell phone in their bra, always keep it on their pelvic area and that stuff like that, right? Who gets more fibroid tumors and breast cancer than anybody? Melanated women, right?
Right. Yes.
So
100%.
organ energy. These things right here are organ energy. They're based with shungite, copper. We're gonna be talking about copper a lot tonight, and other minerals whatsoever, a couple other minerals too, to magnify the energy. But more so the shungite that we're always talking about to break down that EMF, which causes those fibroid tumors and breast cancer, like we said. So, like Dr. Devil Blair always said, we just hide our technology as jewelry. Winner, what you think about Goddess I am safe pieces?
No, that orgone energy is dope because I've always loved orgone because it's like making your own specific crystals. Like, look at that, the shine on it and the wrap.
Ache, gracias.
And you said you've been doing this for 13 years?
For 13 years, I started, a matter of fact, I was a student and a friend of Dr. Delbert Blair. He taught me
Mm-hmm.
how to stay conscious. He taught me not to use the word sleep because sleep means to cease consciousness. So I started creating little pieces, flat pieces that go under your pillow so that, and before you go to rest at night, you say, let my mind stay awake while my body rests. You say that 4 times for north, south, east, and west. And then if
Mm-hmm.
you got to drink water in the middle of the night so that you can do it again, you do it. What happens in that time is you are programming yourself to be conscious during your dream state where you're able to commune with all of your, life force, Ache, the Orishas, your ancestors, your family, whoever it is that you want to connect with. It is up to you. Everyone has their individual power, and it is important for them to find it, within themselves. Like, not because somebody says, not because they saw something in a video, not because they think that shit is sexy. Like, you really have to do the work. So ancestors in spirit had me in hibernation for 13 years doing this work. I used to get migraine headaches. I don't get them anymore. I am a 55-year-old woman from a family that had diabetes, cancer, all kinds of things. I do not have that. I do not take any medication. I do organ and herbs. That's what I do. And I plan to exist. Our bodies are meant to last 150 years. I plan to do that. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't make it until that time, hey, I'll see you on the other side. I ain't going nowhere, because guess what? We are eternal beings. We last forever. I have to say one thing about Winter. I saw Winter. I get chills when I think about her. Mwah. Winter, thank you so much for following your passion and do what you do. When I saw her work, I was like, it gives me chills as I'm talking about it, because this goddess, this queen, this diosa, she is putting her energy, who she is, inside of this work, because copper is a metal. It is a metal, and it is a metal that is a conductor, right? So all of that energy that she's putting in there, those that receive her work are also getting her energy as well, Ache,
Mhm.
right? And the stones that she's using in her pieces are being amplified by the nature of what copper is. And the work that she does is impeccable. I love it, love it, love it. So I yield Winter Bell, Ache.
I
Thank
say.
you, and I receive.
What?
I had another question for you though, because you was talking
Yes,
about the nine chakras, and I seen it, but I didn't get no other information about like the chakra in your hands.
yes,
And I'm like, do you have any resources, or is there anything you could speak on about hand chakra? Because as creators, like sometimes my hands literally be either staticky or they just be
yes,
vibrating. So I'm
yes.
like, oh,
What I am going to recommend to you, do you connect with, do you utilize ChatGPT or any kind of AI resources?
yes, sometimes, yeah.
Okay, so what you want to do is, before you get your hands on the computer, right? You want
Mm-hmm.
to do a meditation, and you want to ask your ancestors to give you more information, not just your ancestor spirit, anybody who wants to give you this information, to give you information about your chakras. There's something specific about your hands. And this is why I'm saying this, because if you get the information from AI, they're going to give you information. They're going to give you basic information on what we have hundreds of chakras in and outside of our bodies. So they'll give you the basic informations on your hands. The Asians, they really know a lot about the palm readings and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to find it within yourself. So you need to ask, look at all that power you got on you right now. You know what I'm saying? You just ask the question, and when you go to AI, you have the intention, and keep that in your mind, that energy that you feel, and reflect that when you ask the question. You want to know the details about this energy, but like real talk, I'm getting, you don't really need the AI. AI will confirm what you get in spirit. Ache.
Ashe.
Yo, Winter. Real quick, did you ever get that book that I was telling you about?
I did get that book. I
Okay.
did.
Before we get into it, because that answers a lot of your questions right there, the Curious Lord Stones. And remember, we were talking about the rings, and each hand has a certain ring in
Mm-hmm.
certain days. So that's the power of it. You know what I'm saying? They use chakras, but energy points and all those in each one of the segments of your hands. Like when you study Islam, they give you dikra, and you touch each one of them pressure points in your hands, so that helps. And then when you end it with a spell. But before we do all that, please introduce yourself to the tribe. Once again, welcome back. By the way, introduce yourself to the tribe and show us why you're here tonight.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? So I am Winter Bell, the creative alchemist, and I really just been creating from my womb space on some love, goddess energy. You know what I mean? Giving birth to everything through my wombs to my hands, and honestly, like I've been creating working with copper for about 5 years, but I've been like a painter, a portrait artist all my life since I was a little kid. And when I started stepping into my consciousness, I'm learning all of these things in art school that coincide with like with spiritual things, and I'm seeing the process of creating materially with creations metaphysically, and even like the seven hermetic principles line up with the seven principles of design, like little things like that that made me really appreciate my scholarship in art school, even though art school has its own little ways and whatnot. But it allowed me to be an incubate a little bit as a youngin. You know what I mean? And so I really, one thing that I've been pushing is like ether equals aesthetics. And when you really when you cooking up something up and you can see it, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes we disregard beauty and instantly be like, oh, don't be materialistic, this and that. But there's sacred geometry hidden in the beauty of things. When you go look at a flower, if that flower was a little crooked and off, you would there's the frequency would be off. So it's like when I create my pieces with balance and order, it I don't even have to sit and do too much calculation. It's just kind of flows into it, and I try to push that through all my work, honestly. And one thing I've been going hard on copper, and copper has been really teaching me a lot because things from nature mirror everything. You can always find the law of correspondence in action. And I was learning about how copper, like our body cannot produce melanin without copper, and copper helps produce this enzyme called, I might not pronounce it all the way correctly, but it's called tysonate or something like that, or no, it's tyrosine. And copper is actually used to create this enzyme that creates uromelanin and pheomelanin. And I've been thinking about like how the sun, because I've been outside doing festivals sweating, but when you wearing copper, it really, if you're not new to wearing copper, it will detoxify your skin. And then it will also, I feel like it's like a rite of passage wearing copper in the sun. And then once you get over it, like, I don't know if y'all can see like my skin, but I be glowing. And it's really like when that copper is like deeper in your skin and you really let that sun charge you, it's going to charge you on a whole new level with the copper, because copper has a very, very high melting point compared to a lot of metals. Like, and when you think about how hot it's really been, and being able to actually sit in that comfortably, a lot of people haven't been able to do that. And we've been seeing what's been going on in Europe already, but a lot of people have not been able to comfortably sit in the sun. And I'm just like, okay, tough it out with some copper. And people be like, oh, my finger turned green. But I'm like, when we go look at Osiris or look at Ptah with the green skin, you feel me? It's like, oh, that they got super melanin, but you mad when the copper turn your skin green. It's cleaning you out. We put so much stuff into our pores, and that's our biggest organ. So spirit has been telling me lately, like, just sit out in the sun and bake, detoxify, drink plenty of water, drink chlorophyll so you can soak it in like the plants, and really enjoy this energy of the summertime. Cause I'm winter, but in the summertime I'm summer. You feel me?
Flip. Yo, you got any questions? Well, first off, you ain't show nothing. You did a lot of talking.
Oh
We from the Show Me
snap!
State.
Hold on. So today I brought out my copper watches, or they timeless watches. Your heart and your lungs already take time for you. So I want this one is, I got a series of these with the zodiacs on them, 100% copper. And then I gotta make some more of these, but these are the ones with the orgone, something special. And then what's been really, I've been rocking a lot with the unks, because that's one of my first, when I first started making jewelry, I just was making a bunch of unks. So hold on, let me take my time.
That's the key to spirituality.
Like the blackbird unk with the shungite, black kyanite, and falcon's eye beads. I got the amethyst lightning bolt unk. And I just been having fun with it. I've been having like little things sitting around my studio, and just seeing how I can shift a little bit. Cause I usually just make a typical unk with a stone, but I'm like, hold on, what if I just sauce it up a little bit, even with the cowrie shell unk. But yeah, I just been really exploring it and pushing myself, because it's like, I don't like to stay in the same place. I'm Aquarius, so I'm always trying to explore something, even if it's inside or outside of myself.
I shall say. Yo, you got any questions for her?
Yeah, for somebody that want to get them jewels, where do they contact her? Because we got our Instagram and the link.
Yeah, you can go to my website is in my Instagram bio, but my website is artifacts of new artifactsofnuw.com. And I have all my stuff posted on there.
Yeah, her shit crazy. She got watches and everything, man. That's the first time I ever seen somebody do the watch. That's the first time, yeah.
I say, Ross, now you
Appreciate
there?
it.
Ross, now?
Yeah,
Don't that
yeah,
copper
yeah.
pull out
I'm
stuff
still
out of
here.
your
Doing your thing.
blood?
Yeah, Sister Winter, you doing your thing, yo. Inspiration. Hey, brother Risha Stone, man, I gotta salute you, King. You keep the forum nice and hot with inspiration, peppered with all kind of inspirational ones on here doing the good work. Salute. Yeah, represent. Yes, I love it. I love what you're doing, Sister Winter. Yeah. So yeah, I am the one and only Ras Naeem of this thing, what we call Infinite Treasures. And yeah, Infinite Treasures. This is where we specialize in creating tools and jewels that are designed to enhance our connections with the heavens and the earth. You know, people ask me a lot of time, what do you mean connections with the heavens and the earth? And so we say time is a construct of man. You know, the Most High, however we identify with the Creator, is timeless, no beginning, no end, infinite, right? So this whole thing called time is man's attempt to play God, right? What we say is that the time that exists, the way the movements, the way the universe unfolds in the timeless space, it's on a slower frequency than this thing that we call time, right? That man-made called time. It's a slower frequency. We got to slow down to smell the roses. You know, we got to slow down to receive the downloads that come through the subtle senses. You know what I'm saying? These
Mhm.
things unfold on the time that man's time can't calculate, you know? So at Infinite Treasures, we, for some time now, have been in this research and development, building these tools, you know, building the jewels that are specifically, how my sister say, got the mathematics in it that correspond to the frequency of life. You know, got these laws called ratio, symmetry, proportion, balance.
Mhm.
Why these laws? Because typically when we see these laws manifest in form, these are signs that life is present, right? And just like the sister say, if you walk up on the flower and it's lopsided or the petals is all different, that's a clear sign that what? There's disorder, something out of order, something ain't right. That ain't the way nature unfolds, right? So we do live in this construct, how I would say, where the things that have the most value relevant to the eternal part of ourselves, all too often, we kicking it around. We ain't paying it no attention. We so preoccupied with Babylon and all the bright lights and the trinkets and the trifles, right? But the stones take a very long time to form, you know? The stones take a long time to form. The trees, they possess a lot of information. Their network is the oldest network on the planet. It's older than the network of men. You know, the information moving through the botanical biome far predates the conceptions of man, you know? And so when we slow down and we give a little more attention to the natural order, when we make it our business to recognize the patterns flowing through nature, then the downloads is flowing constantly. The ancestors are speaking directly to us. So this is what we're doing at Infinite Treasures. We're using these stones, positioning them in the shapes, in the iconography, the ankh, the symbol of life. You know, we're positioning the stones in this ancient icon as a practical application to tap into that ancient spiritual network. You know, the key is a critical tool for access. This is what we're doing. And in these days, the latest and the greatest coming out the press, what we say. We can't forget the role that the plant kingdom plays, the trees, the lessons, the stories, the wisdom in the wood is something that all too often we overlook, we underestimate, you know? Yeah, the part that the lessons that the botanical kingdom has for humanity, you know? So yeah, this is what we've been, when I was a young man starting in my craft, the stones were there from the earlies, you know, it's like, as I was reasoning with you earlier, Orisha Stone, this ministry with the gems and the minerals is the outward expression, affirmation, confirmation of my connection with my ancestors. You know, that whole process of understanding ancestral veneration, the importance of keeping my folks who've already come through relevant by uttering their names and recounting their deeds, recounting their stories. That runs concurrent with this outreach that we deal with at Infinite Treasures, right? So all of this is spiritual for us. It's the commerce side of it is a convenient byproduct, right? Yeah. And in these days, they like, yo, don't forget about the part that the wood plays, because, you know, right, there's order. The trees unfold within the natural order, and they will speak to us. They'll speak to us through the collages that you find when you're working in the wood. You know, when you grab a piece of wood, you don't know what you got in it till you get in it and start working in it. Start working in it, be all kind of lessons, mystery, history, prophecy being revealed. So yeah, that's what we're doing in this place, what we call Infinite Treasures. Yeah, the lab is bubbling, brother Orisha Stone.
I say. Real quick question, because I got to start rotating. But well, two quick questions I wanted to ask you. One for Copper, we got his winner. But two, before we forget, there's a very important something for if you into minerals, if you a melanated person, if you indigenous person, and you into minerals, you might need to tap into this guy and another guy that I'm bringing on right now, because they got some real good information for us about a gym show that's popping off in where, North Carolina?
In Franklin, North Carolina. That's right, Orisha Stone.
Talk about you.
For those of us who are in this business, right, we realize it's too few of the melanated nation making use of these resources, what they call the major gym shows. The oldest one, it happens every year in Tucson, Arizona, right? The second oldest, and probably now the largest, happens every year in Denver. The one closest to those of us who live on the East Coast, the third largest in the country, happens every year in the Carolinas, in Franklin, North Carolina. And it's about to go down the 23rd to the 26th of this month. So when we first came on, one of the petitions that my good brother Ross Ben put out there was like, yo, Orisha Stone, you've invited us to your platform, and you in Jacksonville, and you got a vibrant community of folks who free willingly are plugging in and tapping into this. We need to open up that portal called the Franklin Gym Show. So it's on us. It's about to go down. My man Ross Ben will be coming to the Carolinas in a few weeks, really just a few days, or a few strengths, as we would say as Ross's, to go out there and see what we can find at that gym show, to make the connections and to plug that into our yearly rotation of what they call it, the sweet surrender, getting the stones at the prices that make it a lot easier for us to do the commercial exchange. When you buy low, you don't got to sell super high. You know, if you're buying from secondhand stores, chances are you're buying high. So we hit these major gym shows. We find we get as close to the source as we can. That means we get the rock bottom prices, pun intended. And then we can bring that savings. We can bring those savings, and more than just the savings, the variety. Because a lot of time you ain't going to get variety at your local rock, your mom and pop rock shop or whatever, like you're going to get when you go to these major gym shows. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same kind of experience. So yeah, that portal's opening up in Carolina in a few strengths. And we just wanted to let it be known to the community. Like, if you're within reach, you might want to make it your business to find Franklin on the map. Come out and meet us, meet the collective, and yeah, see for yourself. about the
Yeah, we're gonna
sweet
touch more on
surrender.
that, but when I bring Ross Ben on, we're gonna touch more on that because there's a lot more to that whole Nephilim, and they're having it on over there close by the mounds too. So we're gonna touch back
Mounds,
on that a little bit
absolutely.
later. But
Absolutely.
while I got a Jedi here, I need to ask you because we got a young Jedi here, a young Polywog. She's into the copper. Is there anything you want to give any tips or anything that you might want to give her to help her on her copper journey?
Yeah, so yeah, the copper is, she's on it. Copper is one of them critical three in what we call the melanin trinity of affinity, right? Copper is so critical to so many body functions, right? Pretty much anytime copper is not present in any of your major systems, you're going to be expressing some kind of disease or disorder. It's that necessary. And unfortunately, the Western diet is very much deprived of copper. So we have to be creative in how we are working copper into our lives, whether it's copper cookware or wearing copper, you know. But it is critical to, right, all of the nervous system. That means this is how we experience life. Taste, touch, smell, sight, sound are your five primary senses, but also your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, you know, these subtle senses, you know, they are also very much facilitated by melanin, and melanin needs copper to facilitate these processes. So I would just continue to encourage to go deeper, you know, continue to do the research and development, and just make sure you keeping your ancestors in the conversation, because there's certain things that man can't teach us. But when we keep our ancestors relevant, they can translate information from, like you say, realms and dimensions that man has no words for, you know. And right now, this is what the people need. They need to be able to connect to the natural order of things outside of the limited modalities of speech. You know, talking and communicating about it is necessary. It's a level to it, but there's some things that we can experience as human beings through our melanin factors that words can't. Words fall short to explain. You know, yeah, that's what I'll have to say about copper. Keep doing it. You already on the path, sister. It's an ancient teacher, and right, we need to have it as part of our intake. Recently, I've been on the copper cup mission. I've had a copper cup for about 25 years, and for most of that time, I hadn't been using it. And messing around with a Orishas stone, I'm like, you know what? Let me clean this copper cup off and start using it. Drinking the copper. What I do is I put my water in my copper cup every day, twice a day. I drink it in the morning in the rising, right? I also have a shungite cup. I do the same thing with that. Those two cups are on my altar. I get a shot of those to start my day. I get a shot of those to finish my day. And in the last about the last 2 months I've been doing that, the little subtle aches that sometimes come with age and old injuries have faded. Different agitation and inflammations that kick off can't really keep their hold on I because of the role that copper plays in the healing of the body and the managing of inflammation. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say, look, we all need to continue to go deeper and pay closer attention to the impact copper's having on our body. You know what I'm saying? The turning the color of our skin is one of the signs. My copper does typically want to turn me a little green more in the summertime because, again, the sweat and it's pulling stuff out. But if I'm properly hydrated, if I'm balancing my intake of fresh fruits and vegetables and watching, making sure I'm not eating a whole bunch of processed foods and fried foods, the copper's not turning brown. It's not tarnishing. It's not leaving green stains on me. So we can't blame the copper. More time, the copper is a barometer guiding us and giving us insight into how we can better manage our system, you know? Right.
Awesome. Hey, real quick, I got to rotate real quick. Tell, whenever you get time, tell Ross Ben, be ready for him whenever you get ready to come. But I got to bring some of the goddesses in real quick. But I appreciate that. Stay. I want to touch back into you with that because I want to have that conversation about, yeah, copper's great. And if you have those irritations, just upgrade, go to silver. Silver does the exact same thing copper does. You know what I'm saying? They're sister metals. So we're about to have that conversation. But real quick, I need to get this goddess on real quick.
Hey, before he get off, I was gonna ask him how can they get his stuff too.
Yeah, I'm bringing everybody right back. Yeah, he ain't gone. Peace, going, goddess. How you doing?
Peace, God. I'm good. How are you?
Yo, young elder. Yesterday night we were doing. I'm sorry for just Blowing past that, my bad. I'm good, guys. How about yourself?
I am hanging in there.
I gave you a shout out yesterday. As a matter of fact, young elder we were talking on with the elders of the night, and they kept on saying solutions, solutions, solutions. And I was telling everybody, we got goddesses that got land, we got OGs that got land, and we got a goddess in Philadelphia that got her own seed bank, her own seed bank. So we always talk about wealth and everything, health is wealth and everything else. When we gonna start doing it, we got to pay attention to it and invest in things like what you got going on. So I wanted to introduce you, young elder. Young elder, this is Corn Goddess. Corn Goddess, please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from.
Nice to meet you, young elder. I am Celeste Preston from Germantown, Mount Airy, Northwest section of Philadelphia. I have been working in agriculture since the age of 14, so all things earth, all things land is my thing. I actually, by the end of this summer, I'll be having my green grocery seeds available for purchase. So anybody who does not have access to certain seeds, you are more than welcome to reach out to me. It has been my mission to help create more community gardens, at least one on every block, because in the city of Philadelphia, we actually have a food desert, and nobody should be starving on this American land because we have so much food around us. We just need to learn how to identify the plants, know what's edible so that we can harvest and make sure we're taking good care of ourselves.
Or shall I say, they don't appreciate you now. They're gonna appreciate you later on. You know what I'm saying? They better tap in now. Yo, young elder, do you have any questions for this goddess whatsoever? This is the goddess I always talk about when I talk about growing her own crops. Anybody tell you they growing food in Philadelphia, they doing some magical shit. You know what I'm saying? That's
Bro,
like
watermelons, okay? We got watermelons in the ground right now.
y'all growing like watermelon through concrete type shit. So yeah, young, you got a question for her?
Yep. What? Because of the GMO, and I heard of certain farmers down south getting their land taken for copyright seeds that got copyrights on them. You ever heard about that?
I've been hearing some things about it, and I know that they are going to be pushing more for farmers to use their seeds. But at the same time, I'm not signing up for any of that. I'm not putting no energy into it. So it'll be underground, above ground, but whoever needs the seeds will grow wherever they are. So I wouldn't pay no mind. Because
Yeah, that's what.
the industry in itself has to collapse because the way it's running is not sustainable. It's actually really destroying the earth. So we have to get back to our backyard gardens that we had back in the day. We can't have all, stripping the topsoil, because that's what the current agricultural industry is doing right now. So we got to restore the land and restore the soil so that we can actually grow the foods that are ancestral to us.
I shall say. Man, is it just me, or do you know Miss Winter too, don't you?
No, we've never met.
Miss Winter?
Yeah, I don't think we've met before.
Oh, okay. I thought y'all been know each other. Well, this is Goddess Winter. She and tell us the name of your business before we rotate, Goddess. Tell us the name of your business and how can we get in contact with you if we're trying to get one of your pieces.
For me?
No, I'm talking about Winter.
Oh yeah, you can contact me on Instagram. That's winter.bell, or you can go to my website artifactsanew.com.
I shall say. Let me see. We got a little bit more time. So, Goddess, Corn Goddess, what's that on your neck? It's mineral report tonight. So tell us what's on your neck right now.
I just so happen to have some Orishas stone feather on me. I actually chose this piece today because while I was out restoring a garden, I noticed that there were a lot of crows around and they were very talkative. So I took it as rebirth. And this piece right here actually has a copper penny in the middle of it. So I just wanted to make sure I am restoring my body after spending at least 5 or 6 hours in the sun, because right now my energy is a little low. So I'm just trying to integrate all the sun that I was in so that I can have more energy for tomorrow.
I shall say. Now, you know what? I'm gonna ask a question. When you think of copper, when the first thing we think of copper, we think of that beautiful brown metal, right? But what if I told you this is copper?
I believe it.
Turquoise is copper. azurite is copper, malachite is copper. So when you have these beads on the stones, you're directly getting the copper into your skin. Everything that you're looking for in that metal that might be turning your skin, you won't do that if you're wearing, let's say, turquoise beads that our indigenous ancestors always wore. They wore turquoise for a reason, so they knew the copper in it. Also, copper helps with the blood flow. I believe she already spoke on that, the blood circulation, but we got to start wearing it the right way too. Our ancestors always wore it on the left side because the blood circulation starts on your left side and everything. So that might help you if you put some copper on your left side and everything. What else? What other stones got copper in it, Winter?
I think you hit it with the turquoise, the chrysocolla is another one. You hit it with the malachite. All of those blue green river like stones.
Mm-hmm.
And Orisha, your bead work go crazy. I
Oh,
be seeing it on Instagram. It be going crazy, like for real.
I love that everybody showed their unks off because I just did.
Like,
This is already somebody's right here. But this is an piece we did, the triple blackness, and at the bottom of it, we don't want to talk about it, but this is the key of life, right? This is the woman. You know what I'm saying? We already know all that, but we got the black woman on there, the Sophia goddess energy, the black star sapphire, the triple blackness, black star sapphires, and then yeah, we got black tourmaline, obsidians, and shungite on here, and that's all copper too, brass, copper, and everything else. Okay.
yeah, that's dope for real.
Y'all there?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so yeah. And then I'm just trying to do like that. I just love the art of it, to be honest with you. I just love the art of the game. Like sometimes when I used to go to Atlanta, people used to hate and everything else. I'd be excited because so many people down there got crystals and all these crystals. You can go down there like Mansa Musa and borrow and trade and everything else. But down there, you go bend on 5 points, they be mad at you, man. What you were doing on our block? Man, nah, man, we ain't doing no. What OJ Yemi said yesterday? We ain't nobody hating on us. Ain't no more negativity or some shit like that. We got to get our mantras right. Just go out there and show love. This goddess right here is in Atlanta. If you want to tap in with her, get something from her, or I am Sig, or anybody that we're bringing on. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, I'll be busy. I ain't gonna lie. So tap in. Corn goddess before, because we about to have some mineral conversations. Unless you want to stay for them. But you have anything else before I rotate?
I just feel like everybody should be growing something, and there's no excuses because you can grow anywhere. So if you need some assistance, feel free to inbox me. I'll help guide you, but you got to do the work.
What food got copper in it?
That's a good question.
Mm.
I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna come back with it.
Okay, bet. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that, goddess.
Thank you.
And then, young elder, we were talking about all the solutions. It was funny. We were talking about, and I'm walking in Publix today, and I'm looking in. Some just told me, man, I ain't getting no sugar today. And I looked down, and I found they got a pack. I'm gonna go get in a minute. They got a pack of black walnuts, just black straight black walnuts. I'm like, damn, when they start serving these, when you look, you'll find it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all about solutions. This guy, she's most definitely about solutions. All right, guys, thank you again, guys, and we'll rotate back to you. Okay. I'll see.
Orishas Stone, I got a quick question. Sister Winter, I think I do remember you. I think I might have met you in Atlanta. You say you're in Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm like, I think I remember you too.
Yeah,
And
with that
you had
Red
the
Pill,
unks.
they did something at Red Pill and Brother Rich were doing something at the spot there, one of the Monday nights. And I
Yeah,
think
at
you
the
was up in
smoothie
there
shop.
selling your wares.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was selling your wares. I thought that was you. Yo, good to see you again. Yes.
Nice to see you
And
too. Yeah, I'm
yo,
gonna definitely have to see if I can pull up to North Carolina because that ain't but a couple hours of a drive.
that's what I'm saying. It's the
Right.
closest one. All the other ones you got to cross the Mississippi to hit. This is the closest one to us. It don't make no sense for us to be on this side and we doing this work and we ain't making the most of that resource, you know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Yeah.
something
For
about the
sure.
Appalachian Mountains. I don't have the exact words for it yet, but
Yep.
Spirit keeps taking me there for my birthday, and it's just a whole different
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah. The roots
All
run
the
deep up
stones
there.
and minerals in that mountain, like,
The roots run deep up there. You know, that's that's probably the oldest mountain range on the planet. The reason why I say
mm,
this is because what we see that is left of the Appalachian mountain range is actually just the hardest part that didn't get eroded away. The tops of the mountains were way higher than what they are now, has long been eroded away. The Appalachian mountain range is way older than the Himalayas, way older than the Rockies, because you know how tectonics work. right?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since the plates that created the Appalachian mountain range were pushing into each other. You know, we're closer to the time where, right, Pangea split and those plates are pulling apart. There's no tectonic activity pushing those mountains up. Those mountains are ancient mountain ranges, and the proofs of it are what you find when you walk on the surface. You'll find alluvially, which means, like, right, they're right on the surface. Garnets all throughout Appalachia, and that's not a mineral that forms near the surface. You know what I'm saying? It forms
Yeah.
deep in under layers of rock, but you'll find them walking through Appalachia because the top of the mountain was eroded away millions of years ago. So yes, Appalachia is a very high vibrational place. The mystical spiritual roots run deep up in them parts, you know?
You
Yeah,
said
and Franklin is embedded right up in them old mystic hills. Yes.
you said garnet?
Garnet, you find garnet on the surface walking through Appalachia. Yes. You'll find it on the surface. Yes. Ross
That's another
Spin, when he come on, they find it in Philadelphia, right up there in the Wissahickon. It's all over the place. Garnet's all over the place up in the Wissahickon, bro. It's the ancient mountain range.
That's why we do what we do, because down here we have abundance of stones that y'all might not have. Like we have to pay for. We pay a lot of money for garnet and turquoise and stuff. Like this is white turquoise, white buffalo and garnet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Garnet's not that expensive, but for y'all to just have it like that, that's kind of dope. That's like I know in North Carolina they got abundance of rubies and sapphires.
That's right.
Is Roz coming in?
Yeah, I just text him again. Give me 1 second. I'll come right forward. I'm gonna come right forward. Let me get him on.
Questions about somebody had a question about that Superman stone, the motivate. So I'm trying to have the OGs on so we can have this conversation.
I got you. All right, give me 1 second.
Because these dudes right here most definitely tech tight alchemists. You big into tech tights, Winter?
I've been getting into them because you mentioned them, and I just had them sitting around with my other stones, but I'm like, nah, let me. So I made me a like a personal unk, and I like when I'm in meditation mode or when I'm in vibe mode, I just been putting that on to see how it like experiment with how it affects my energy. So I've been. It kind of makes me like my thoughts a little bit more loud, but I probably it'll take a minute for me to really sit with it and understand it, because it's definitely a grounding energy. Like it's gonna make you, because I'm an airhead, I'm an Aquarius, I'll be up in the sky all day, but that was like, nah, sit down and really digest what you need to digest and discipline yourself. Like,
So let me ask you a question. Your elder's on TV every day, all day. He on this obsidian screen, right?
mm-hmm.
Sending negative energy at him. He don't even know it. What stone would help him if you want a public guy, you're a speaker? Like what stone would be good for your elder?
That's a good one. I say even I think shungite, because or even like if you really think about like
Oh,
obsidians or
that's a
something.
cop out. Sun got good for everybody for everything. That's a cop
But I
out.
know, but I'm thinking about like, what I'm thinking about is, okay, if something is throwing light at you, because the light from the screen is way different than the light from the sun. So if something is throwing a light at you, you need something to either catch that light or you're going to be absorbed by that light, or you need something to refract that light. You know what I mean? I'm thinking kind of in terms of physics of what could be good for that. But if it's something that's hitting him and he needs to call back his attention, I feel like something that like Jasper and like really earthy stones like polychrome jasper, mookaite jasper. If you really need to set the foundation of your, like even tiger's eye, like stones that mirror like trees in a sense, to really keep your energy in and not let it leak out. Because a lot of times if we're meant to shine, we're solar beings, we meant to shine. The sun shine all day and don't get tired. So sometimes it's like, oh, you just got to stabilize that fire, or you got to reflect light that you don't want hitting on you. You feel me? That's how I see it.
I don't. When you say reflect light, I thought you were just gonna say it off the top. Like, what you reflect light? Labradorite.
Look,
Reflect light.
That's fire right there.
Labradorite. Now, the first thing I'm gonna ask if you would have asked me that question, the first thing I would have went like, okay, what's the zodiac sign first? So we got to align that a little bit so he just ain't fucking him up, giving him the wrong stones. So boom, he's a Gemini. Labradorite. You said you everything you just said reflect off those negative energies. What's the best reflective stones? Labradorite. We can go obsidian, we can go everything else, but he's an air sign too. Labradorite is for the angels, everything else. Labradorite would be great for them. Lapis lazuli is good for both of y'all. Lapis lazuli is good for a lot of people, but especially the air signs. You know what I'm saying?
You can't forget about the blue. You can't forget about the blue kyanite. The blue kyanite. Blue kyanite transmutates negative energy into positive energy. The blue kyanite will open and activate all the chakras. So you can't go wrong with kyanite when you're working in an environment where you have to be would you say proactive and not letting the vibes in your environment try to take over your vibe. Blue kyanite, you can't lose. You go in, you do your work, you transmutate them vibes that want to stick to you from anything negative into something positive. All the chakras is open. You on your God frequency. You know, the environment ain't dictating. The environment ain't dictating your vibe. You can't lose with blue kyanite.
Hey, I got a question for all the jewelers that's on. Hey, y'all, we got all the jewelers on. Oh, I got a question. Hey, which one of y'all are working on a device using magnets and to create free energy? Like, 'cause it's a lot of dudes like the creative dude he online. He set up. He using copper magnets and quartz crystal to make free energy devices. I'm talking about where you can power your whole house. Charge, dump your car.
At the end of the show, when she first came on, that's why I brought I Am Sega on at first. She was showing you orgone energy, right? Young elder, once you tap into that, you always like y'all talk about Nicholas Tesla and everything else, but he got it from somewhere. And this is going back to the stones, it's going back to Hathor temples and everything else.
They use orgone energy time travel.
Magnets. Now we talking about the fear of lodestone, things of that, magnetism, things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So we already on it. We give it to you because once you get on it, everybody else gonna want it. Then you see what I'm saying? You already a scientist, so we already gave it to you. It just seemed like we're using big words and everything else and go over there with the head. We just keeping it real simple. Orgone energy, shungite, that free energy, that's pure carbon. Like study that part. If you don't study, understand, find a connection between shungite and the melanin and the carbon and shungite and the melanin in our skin. You see what I'm saying? She just said, why is melanin so high? It's higher than silver, it's higher than gold right now, right?
Oh, that's fire. That piece that the brother got.
Each one of these pieces that they're making is energy. She's wearing a crown on. Copper is an energy conductor. That's anything. It's one of the best energy conductors right after silver, right? So whatever's on her mind is energetically projecting. You see what I'm saying? If she's in there listening to jazz and positive hertz and frequencies, stuff like that, and it's vibrating on her head and everything else, it's healing her body. This is before they had a med bed, they had copper. You know what I'm saying? Silver, the same thing. All these stones have a purpose. What we're doing is just having a conversation. That's the device to wake people up to it. You know what I'm saying? Look, what Malachi Zior say? I can't bring you what you want, so you can learn to want what I came to bring. Dr. Blair, he just said, turn your technology into jewelry. Your technology as jewelry. You see what I'm saying? We all saying the same thing. It's just we bringing our art to it, and I'm just showing all the different mineral alchemists. And with that,
Richard, you do rings?
Yeah. See, most of my rings, okay, boom. Most of my rings I get from estate sales and stuff like that. So I get real because I get them for the cheap for the stone prices, right? But most of my rings, you got to check out Melanated Immortals and April Gary because they have a luxury brand. So I sent most of my luxury stuff to them because that's the women page. So check them out and you'll see all the luxury. We got peridot rings, turquoise rings. Like I said, that's why I tell people get silver. If you buy the silver, we can make you a ring. You know what I'm saying? You just got to pay the price of the ring, pay the price of the metal. We melt the silver down and put the stone in it. You got to be ready to pay for the metal and the work. That's it. So, and matter of fact, speaking of which, that's another reason I love April, because April knows how to weld. She's a welder. Winter. She's a welder. But Winter, I'm gonna have to rotate you real quick. All right,
let me say hey to Ross Ben.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Nice to see you. I met him out in Atlanta during the winter solstice. It's nice seeing you again.
Good seeing you again. Love and respect. You the sister to make that powerful pieces, like the you blessed me with that bloodstone one.
Yes, that bloodstone star. Yes.
Love, honor, and respect. I knew the time would come where I'm reasoning with you and the brethren Naeem
Yeah,
in
he
the
had been
same.
speaking about that moment when he was like, yeah, his sister. And I was like, that sound like the sister that I met in Atlanta, but I couldn't remember your name.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he spoke very highly of the time y'all spent at the event during the winter solstice and the time y'all spent outside. He was like, yeah, that was really the vibe was happening outside the event.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause you and that other brethren, the brethren that was going to Columbia with
Oh
Red Pill.
yeah. G host. I think yeah,
G
that's what he goes
host.
by.
Yeah,
G
yeah,
host, yep.
yeah. G host. Y'all reasoning reflected. What was y'all reasoning on? We passed the summer solstice. It shows you how I be staying in the present. I can't remember the past. But y'all was reasoning on something outside, something galactic and cosmic that was so aligned with the time. I was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I think
Like,
I think we was talking about like sacred geometry and using that to tap into different dimensions. We was going in on it. I
yeah,
think that's what
yeah.
we was talking about. Something in the lines of that. But
Hey, 1,000 parts, because I don't want to be rude. First off, we got a bunch of legends on the channel right now. First off, we tapped in with a young elder as well. Young elder might not know what the fuck going on right now, but you on the phone, you on here with a lot of high priests, high Jedi masters. You know what I'm saying? Raz Naeem, Raz Ben. These are two OGs from the Philadelphia area. Corn got she's a big OG. She's a big mama in the Philadelphia area. You know what I'm saying? You know I got to put on for Philadelphia. That's where my mama from. We got Universal Frequency on. This dude right here is the most humble Jedi I've ever seen. But don't let him fool you. He got that lightsaber on deck at all times. Doing it for a long time.
Give thanks.
I want to keep you on, but I gotta be respectful to my other guests, so I gotta bring
no,
somebody
it's
else.
all good.
No,
Well,
stay with us because we got questions now. We got
hey,
a lot
I'm not even gonna hold y'all long. We just want me and Naeem, we actually just bum rushed tonight because we wanted to share with y'all this vision that's been on our mind and our hearts. Where, all right, the largest gym show in the US is in Tucson, Arizona, right? The second largest is Denver, Colorado. The third one is in Franklin, North Carolina. It's right down there. Where y'all at? Where Atlanta's at? Where yeah, you in that Petersburg region. Ras Naeem is South Carolina. Like the third largest gym show in the US is right in our neck of woods. Have we been there yet? I don't know why. And then even when you study Franklin, there's a sacred mound there, an indigenous mound where it's been memorialized and recognized as a sacred mound because the tradition says the Moitié, the dwarves came out and fought along the indigenous there when they was protecting their land. We need to be there, I feel. And I feel we need to be there as a collective. And from the time we started reasoning, Orishas Stone, from the first time you invited me on and you were sharing how you from that Petersburg region. And, you know, I know Ras Naeem is down in them Carolinas. It just felt only right that we come together there. And so the show this year is July 23rd. We're going to be up there the 23rd and the 24th. And as many of y'all know, His Imperial Majesty's birthday, Haile Selassie's July 23rd, right? And so that means the sun. And if excuse me if I'm speaking inappropriately, but where Jupiter is right now, Jupiter's just going into Leo. So Jupiter and the sun are going to be conjuncting around July 23rd. It feels only right. We on a sacred mound in North Carolina buying crystals together.
I see.
I say.
I see.
And so we
I'll
wanted
say
to block that sound, you know? We wanted to hey, Ross, you got something you want to add to that?
Absolutely. So even before July 23 was the birthday of His Majesty, that's one of the most important days on the Kemetic Great Year calendar, right, Ross Ben?
Yes.
What they call what? The helical rising of Sirius.
Yes.
Right. So we saying that the heavens and the earth is on our side. They waiting on us to converge in Franklin. They waiting on us to converge in Franklin. They say if the Mortier came out the mound in a great battle, then we don't know what we're going to tap into when we come up there collectively, on point, on purpose, with intention, and with our ancestors as part of the conversation. We don't know what's going to open up in the mounds. Right. Right. I say the heavens and the earth is on our side. We need to be in position to see what happens when we converge in Franklin. Yeah, we need to see it for ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So the vision, Brethren, July 23rd, Franklin, North Carolina.
You most definitely.
Let's all be there. Let's all be there.
I say.
You know?
And as a caveat, Ross Ben will be dropping some jewels after we do the gym show in Franklin. Ross will make his pass through Columbia to do a speaking arrangement at the House of Hathor. That's one of the premier culture spots here in Columbia on North Main. The brother and sister holding it down there. They've been holding it firm for a few years, culture-wise. And then that following Sunday, the Sunday of the 26th, we're also going to do an event in Charlotte at the spot called Holistic. The sister Yvette has opened up the gates. And same way, they've been keeping the fire hot in the community culture-wise. So they want to be a part of it. We can't also miss one of our key brethren coming in from South Florida named Ross Mikey is a Basu. Master Basu, Kemetic Yogi, Grand Master, internationally renowned. Internationally renowned, coming up to offer his insights on the Kemetic yoga science. So it's gonna be a vibe. It's definitely gonna be a gathering of what you say, one heart, one love, one aim type minded folks. Yeah.
So because I even think I asked this one of the last times I was on your show. I hope it didn't offend anyone. Are we simply observing fulfillment of prophecy, or are we actively fulfilling prophecy?
Right.
Which one are you doing? So I feel we need to congregate together.
Yes.
North Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
be
you
a
say?
part of fulfillment.
It's also that Neptune cycle too. What you say, Ross? The ancestors from the 1860s, right? We are the manifestation of their dreams and their prayers and their ambitions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 168 years ago, whatever your ancestors was doing, you're fulfilling. Yeah. These times, that part.
The heavens and the earth is on our side. Yeah. The heavens and the earth is on our side.
Yeah.
My bad, too. Hey, young elder, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear what they were talking about when they were saying about the Nephilim and the things that was coming out those mountains?
Yeah.
And what the dwarves.
Tap into that, man, because it seemed like around every single mounds, from Jekyll Island over here to the Tallahassee and all these other mounds, they all say the same thing. It's some kind of either elves, dwarves, giants, all sorts of different things connected to these mounds, and not to mention the ley lines, all sorts of stuff. So when it comes to this crystal technology, when you said about that free energy, sometimes when you're going back to that solution you were talking about, going up these mounds with certain crystals, that is that free energy. We magnifying energy with intention anyway. So I see you. I said, hey, I wanna pass to the universal real quick.
Well, we powering up. I will say, right, we're powering up. What that means is, you know, we infants in the game. We're learning how to power our health and wealth and selves up, right? I think what the elder was really reasoning on, we got to get to the point where we're so empowered, we don't have to worry about utility power. That's not something we got to be, because utilities be hurting us. They be hurting us. And the first utility was built right here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Waterworks. That was the first time they took something that was before free and a part of nature and accessible to everyone. And they turned it into a money operation. Philadelphia Waterworks, first utility of the country, right? So we need clean, free water, clean, free air, clean, free electricity. I understand what the elder's saying, but we got to grow. We in the infancy of our science, right? And we're learning how to empower ourselves. I think it's going to be these younger, I think the ones that the youth of today, they got them solutions. We got to empower them and get out their way.
Perfect timing, because Universal just popped in there. That's perfect. Hey, he just called your he just called your number, Universal Frequency.
Yeah.
Man, look.
Yeah.
Peace to everybody, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's, you know, just simply, you know, in these times, I'ma just bring up the vibe of the ancestors, tapping in with the ancestors, as Ras Naeem bringing up, you know, in connection with the mounds, is like really embodying and bringing in that ancestral energy. You know, right now I'm tapping in with the Numite and the Shungite again, and it even came and it came up again. Much love to brother Yosef. I caught a video a little bit later where he brought up like Shungite and Numite as one of his top crystals to tap in with. And I heard y'all talking. I heard y'all talking earlier for about crystals for a speaker to protect themselves, and you brought up one in particular for the brethren with the Gemini energy. You know, young elder Alexandrite came to mind as well, because Alexandrite quite literally, you know, changes colors, and it's kind of like that Gemini energy.
Man, ain't nobody got no Alexandrite money.
Hey man,
look. You went for the expensive ass stuff.
but just, you know, just in connection with, you know, with the build, and again, like connecting with the mounds and the ancestors right now, you know, again, like doing the Numite, doing the deep diving, and right now I'm doing some crystal alchemy. I be keeping that Moldavite down, but I brought it back up as of recently, and I'm doing a little experiment, you could say, with Moldavite, Shungite, and Moki ball stone. So like, you know, having some grounding, like grounding,
yeah,
you know, strong grounding too. This digging deep into the earth, you know, the shungite vibe. So it's like strong detoxification because moldavite also, in essence, kind of works like a quartz. So it's amplifying the energies of these crystals too. And I always, you know, tap in with that moldavite and talk to it and be like, look, we not rushing nothing. Like transformation don't mean rushing. You know what I'm saying? You know, we ain't in the USSR. We, you know what I'm saying? We now now's the vibrate. You know what I'm saying? We
Hit it
here
from
now. You feel
Universal.
me? So
Hit it from
oh,
one time.
was that? Hey, not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now, you know what I'm saying? Now is the vibrate. You know that's the only thing that exists is this moment right here. You know, not the utilities in the past, as Ross been bringing up. You know what I'm saying? Are not the ones to pay in the future. You know, like right now, us being together. You know, basically like causing a glitch in the matrix in so many ways by even being in this one space together. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely
Now, quick
tapping
question.
in.
Your elder, no man, and because I want to get to the business real quick, because we already been on for a minute. But your elder had a great question. Some people in the comments had a great question. They kept on asking us about moldavite, and they were like, "Yo, why do I keep on saying moldavite will give you those superhuman or superpowers that you're looking for if you know how to activate the stone?" One, but each one of y'all have a different perspective on tektites. Roz Ben and Roz Now, they actually taught me so much about amber, next level. That amber is I look at amber on the same level as moldavite now. But they were asking us about the power of tektites and why we should be in the power of dealing with the power of tektites, especially with more people being conscious now and knowing what to do with these power tools. Now, somebody said, what did they say? Young elder, what was the question? You on mute, G?
They said, how do you, like, once they find the crystal that goes with them, like far as like their birthstone and etc., a crystal that they need, how do they activate it? And then how do they cleanse it and activate it? Activate the
Mantras.
stone. That was asking it, yeah.
The first thing I would say before we move around, mantras. You activate your
Mantra.
stone through mantras and mudras. Like, look, I started to do it yesterday. Look, back in the day, they call it gang signs, right? But you can sit here and do these same things. And Indians, in India, they call it mudras. You sit here and meditate and mantras with your stones. You see what I'm saying? Say whatever mantra it is. Like you can pretty much make any mantra as long as it's something that you can repetitively say in your mind over and over again. But mantras, certain stones have certain mantras. That's it. Like this is not something we're making up. This is ancient technology. The answers are they wrote down in the tablets for us. What you think, Universal?
For me, you said cleansing and clearing and setting intent. For me, well, at least with the tektite right now, of course, again with the mantras, cleansing it that way. You know, I'm a big fan of Palo Santo. You know what I'm saying? Palo Santo smoke, cleansing it that way. And I got my hands on some you know, again, like it ain't no limit when it's something that's like real healthy and helpful. So I got some mirror essential oils. It costs like $20, but you know, some mirror, and I kind of, you know, put that on the moldavite and basically on most of my pendants, you know what I'm saying, to set that intention of like cleansing and being on point energetically. But yeah, I would say again, cleansing as far as like with the Palo Santo, you know, your sage. But again, me personally, I'm a Palo Santo person, you know, the wood, the tree energy, you know, speaking of amber, you know what I'm saying too as well. But yeah, that would be it. And what I also like to do is write out my intentions. Like I write them on a sheet of paper, you know what I'm saying, usually in purple ink to tap into the Jupiter energy, sometimes in blue, you know what I'm saying, for the throat chakra, but like, you know, purple ink, you know, write down the intentions of what I want the crystal to do. Because automatically, yes, the crystal is gonna do what it do. You know, element does what it does, but you again laser focus. Speaking of like the lightsaber and the kyber crystal, like that lightsaber is like almost like a laser. It's like focus crystal, kyber crystal energy, you know, and that's what our intentions does to certain pieces that we have as well. It's like, all right, I want this to particularly help me with this thing, you know. So yeah, right now the intentions could, you know, it's like sharpening the focus, you know what I'm saying?
That's saying. I am saying, how you feel about that question? You on mute, guys? You're on mute. You're on mute.
I use Orgone technology, Orgone energy batteries to charge the stones. I also use the sun, I use water, I use my voice, and I use the moon. So that is what I use to charge stones.
Can you use the ground earth like bury it? Is that a good idea? Like to bury it underground to charge it, like with the earth spills?
And
Yes,
just rest it on the earth. Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just want to share about the Orgone technology because this is important. Stones have their energies. They're all little beings and personalities. So if you do not cleanse those stones, they're going to take on the energy of the beings around whoever's touching it, and then is going to, push that energy out. And if you don't know what to do, it might make you a little cuckoo. And so when you work with the resin, well, make sure that you're cleansing your stones. But when you're working with the resin, this right here, this is an energy filter for an entire home. Okay. And this energy filter has hundreds of stones inside of it. And what it does is it protects the home from electromagnetic frequencies, digital pollution from the cell phone. It protects you from negative ass people. It helps you to bring your vibrational frequency up and clear the debris that's in your mind. So it protects the stones from anybody touching it, because anybody can come here, they can touch this all day long. The formula of what the organ does, it's maintaining its energy in a beneficial frequency, so it doesn't matter who touches it. So using resin with your stones is a safe way to start working with the stones. And if you're not, don't play. You better wash them. You better cleanse. Ache, I yield.
I say. I love that. I think earlier it was Ross Nam. He said something about the stones taking millions and millions of years to form sometimes. But just like you said water. But one thing about it, we forget fire is a form of light, and fire gets it. You can get it like moldavite is rapid. It didn't take millions of years for moldavite to form. It was rapid manifestation, rapid manifestation. So fire or light purifies.
Go ahead.
When I said,
Go ahead.
well, go ahead. Go. What's that? See?
No, I'm like, go finish what you're saying. Then I'm gonna ask my question for all
Oh,
the Jews on the phone.
the light can activate your stones. The whole part when we talk about angels and we talk about clear quartz, and because quartz grow at the structure of angles. So that's when they say angles and angels, the same thing. You communicate through light. You can communicate, activate through light. When they say put your stones out in the moon, that's cool to cleanse, but to activate and put them out in the sun. When the sun rise, when they say nefe baka or the sunrise, you know what I'm saying? Have your stones out there to get that information. We already know the sun is sending out information, light. So activate your stones with the sun. Go ahead though.
Yeah, so when I was studying the extraterrestrial technology, especially with Bob Lazar, at Area 51, and there's a couple other scientists that were working on this project. And you said something about argon. They used that for the project Looking Glass. It's powered by argon energy. The project looks at for them to look into the future. And then another thing I noticed is their technology as far as the anti-gravity. It uses quartz crystal and copper, and it's use an element called 115 omnicron. But we're seeing I think what y'all headed with this Jews and everything, that we're headed there's unlimited energy stored in those crystals, because crystals are living organisms. In fact, if you go to Pluto, if you visit Pluto is where these advanced crystal race of beings live, and they are living organisms. They breathe, crystals breathe. That's why when you make certain jewels, you got to have breathing areas with diamonds. They got like spaces and little holes for the diamonds to breathe, because they are actually live. They actually breathing. They're actually taking in a certain type of I don't know exactly what the gas would be that they're taking in, but they actually take in a gas. They give off a gas. I might have to do more research on it, because I heard somebody talk about that, right? But on Pluto, these beings, these crystals live on Pluto, and they communicate with each other through sound, light frequencies, right? And so I think we haven't even scammed the half of what crystals and these stones is all about, because if extraterrestrials is using it to generate 0 point energy, right? Tachyon energy, it's way more to this shit. Like them crystals, like it's like man, I don't know how long it's gonna take us to get to the point where the extraterrestrials it and then using and taking it and flying out of using it to fly out of space because they flying out of space. If you go, matter of fact, if you go watch the Riddick, the power of them ships, they got what they call notes, and they use crystals. The note is a whole huge crystal, and they use that as a power source to power their ship. So this shit, that crystal shit is way more deeper than based on us little shit that I know. Just the little shit that I know. Them, if the extraterrestrials using it for 0 point energy, it's crazy.
You talk about it all the time, though. We talk about it in history. If you talk about Anunnaki, you talk about crystals. If you talk about Draconians or reptilians, you talk about crystals. Because the whole war, what were they at war for? The reptile. If you go by the lore, the reptilians were at war with the Lyrians. The Lyrians is like a lion race. They were fighting over crystal technology because the reptilians, they're not really emotional like that, but they're real logical. You did a video kind of like the Vulcans, but that's like, but they're not even from that. When they say they from Alpha Draconis, they're not really from there. They got planted there, their damn self. But it's funny you said something about the stones too, because they got a new movie out. I can't remember the name of this movie, but it's a movie this dude goes to space. Hail Mary, I think it's called. Anybody seen Hail Mary?
I know what you're talking about, but I ain't watched it.
Watch it, Chief. Watch it. In the movie, the stone, they're telling you the stone is sentient to the point where the stone was creating crystal technology and stuff of that nature. It's always been like that. If you're talking about Atlantis, you're talking about crystal technology. If you're talking about Mu, you're talking about crystal technology. Like just the same way. I mean, this isn't nothing new. We were talking about Hathor or any of these matriarchs. We're talking about crystal technology because the Hathor temples. Remember, we were talking about magnets and things of that nature, right? The Hathor to the Rosman came up on it. Yeah, you see where I'm going with it? See, you always been talking about it. When you look at Malachi's New York books and he's talking about that ship coming down, he said the ship would be ran on crystals. This was what 30 years ago. This ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. We just custodians of this information, like Roz been doing it forever. You know what I'm saying? Roz Naeem been doing it forever. She been doing it forever, but she's still young. I am saying, you know what I'm saying? But what's the name? Damn.
Winter.
Universal been doing it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So we all been doing it for a while. The technology right there, we just got to start coming together and putting our minds together. It's not hard.
If you think about it, Orisha Stone, right? When we go back again to this thing, what we call the man-made construct called time. If we use that construct and we go and work from the Western a process of perceiving a reality, right? Even in the Western scientific process, they're telling us that the stones exist in their lifespan exists within the fabric of time in ways that it's really unfathomable to the human mind, right? Because they've existed before our minds existed, and they'll exist long after. So one of their key utilities is, right, a practical, everyday, applicable way for us to stay connected to that part of ourself, which is the real part of ourself. The sack of bone and meats that we call our body. This is the part that's perishable. This part is just a blink, not even a blink of an eye in the space of the lifetime of a stone, right? So how we apply that? Once we make that recognition, we recognize that the stones similarly are, like you say, reservoirs of information, not only from things that have happened, things that will happen, as there's nothing new under the sun, right? The cycles, the sequences, the symmetry that governs the universe has been recorded in the mineral kingdom, right? So then it just becomes our responsibility to, do the chemical breakdown, find out how these things connect to our body and start to implement them in our life in a way that, that they are beneficial to that eternal part of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's really at the root of the technology, moving beyond the illusion of time and the limitations of time, and remembering that we are eternal beings. And the stones are like key to that remembering. The stones are a key component to that remembering part.
I get the esoteric part of it, but science part of it, that's why I want to keep going to Young Elder, because we all understand that. But I really want to drive it home real quick. Magnets. I'm going to keep saying the same thing over and over. Hematite, lodestone, earth magnets, copper. What you got, Universal?
So also, like anybody, y'all look up bismuth and magnets, and you could make a bismuth levitate. Like if you take one magnet at the top and one magnet at the bottom, and you put some bismuth in between it, the bismuth quite literally be levitating. And so it's some type of connection with bismuth and magnets and levitation devices as well, just from seeing that. You know, I forgot the proper name for the science of it, but if you just look up bismuth, magnets, and levitation, you'll find like some videos on YouTube with it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a connection with that, most definitely. You know,
Stones. We talking about making energy, but they got stones in the Congo that literally produce energy. Shungite conducts energy, but they literally have stones that Haiti has stones that produces energy. You see what I'm saying? When we talking about how the spaceships and everything else, but they can't get out of space without iridium, or so they say anyway from their science. Iridium from Haiti and the Congo. That's why they keep Haiti and the Congo in the condition they are over stones. It always goes back to the stones. They just got to keep us straight. When the first thing they came over here and did, well, before they took anything else, was took your stones. You know what I'm saying? So clearly, that's something we need to be trying to take back in our mentality. Another thing, how y'all feel about quartz? Who wants to say something about quartz? Because we overlook quartz a lot, and young elders asking that, but quartz is the prime example of how powerful crystals are. Because quartz is a living entity. It's not even a solid. Like what y'all got on quartz?
I got something to say about quartz because I wanted to tell young elder that a perfect stone for what you do and being in front of people is black tourmaline, because black tourmaline sends negative energy right back to its source. But when you use tourmaline quartz, now you have the quartz, which is very powerful. It aligns all of your chakra centers, a major programmer, very powerful tool. And so it has pieces of black tourmaline in it. So it's a very, very powerful stone for programming, protection, and sending energy back to a source. I love quartz. Quartz is my secret ingredient for everything, because I have to say this, and I share it to the ancestors because they keep giving us messages. I've been creating timeless watches for over 13 years. And a timeless watch means that when you look at it, you know that the time is now. So in order for me to make a piece like this, well, it's probably not going to be as strong as something this big, but it's dang near close because I have certain things that I do to make sure I use with the crystal quartz. I'll give you guys, because there's no gatekeepers. When you're using orgone technology, you take crystal quartz and you crush it. Crush the crystal quartz and you sprinkle it, because that's going to be creating more energy centers, more energy points, so that you can do, it's very powerful when you do it that way, and when you use crushed up crushed up metals as well. So you could use real granulated copper. And we have so much fun with that stuff. So I yield. I get excited, y'all. My bad.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Especially when a couple years back, there wasn't that many. You didn't see that many melanated people doing it. Especially we didn't have social media connect. Like I said, we re-engineering this obsidian screen, reverse engineering. Universal Frequencies was one of the first people I used to connect with. Him, and there was another melanated girl, and that's why I reached out to them. I'm like, yo, I remember seeing you when I first got on my crystal journey. You know what I'm saying? I love that you brought up tourmaline, because I'm a real big fan of green tourmaline and red tourmaline. Those are some of my favorite stones. But they like the brother just said, he said something about piezoelectricity. What's that got? Universal would say?
Oh no, I was just showing my water. I was showing my water because I got tourmaline. I got a piece of black tourmaline in it, and I shake it before I drink it to activate the piezoelectricity in it. You know what I'm saying? So it could kind of activate the water. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I digress. I'm not. And as far as quartz, from my little input, I work with quartz very sparingly. I do use it with a lot of my dream work. I put it under my pillow. You know what I'm saying? And amplify. The visions. I also, of course, on the scientific level, I would also say check out Dan Winters be explaining a lot of little science stuff when it comes to like quartz crystal, the hexagon energy or the hexagon shape, and how that connects to DNA. But for me also with it, like tapping in, I just made a video about transparency. And like when we tap in with crystals, we're also tapping into what it is in essence. And with transparency, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like transparency, when you being transparent, not only is it, something metaphysical, but it's psychological and, you know what I'm saying, spiritual in the sense of like, when you say being transparent with people, like what you're doing, you're being clear. Like I'm gonna be clear with you. I'm gonna be transparent with you, and therefore what reflects back to you is transparency. And if there isn't any transparency, you'll know it, you'll see it. But tapping in with the clear crystal quartz for the energy of transparency, for clarity, for, what I'm saying, for getting things clear, what I'm saying, on that level as well, and also for amplifying intentions. A lot of times I use quartz for, and I also thinking of like along with quartz with the piezoelectricity, tapping in with the pine cones. Like I got a bunch of pine cones I'm a wrap, and pine cones having the golden mean ratio, so they promote constructive wave interference. And constructive wave interference is basically where waves get to come across each other and they intermingle, but instead of like crashing, they keep each other alive. And the golden mean ratio helps for that expansion and basically helps for waves to move, in a manner where they build each other up when they come across each other. You know what I'm saying? So tapping in with that with a crystal quartz, would be pretty beneficial for the aura and for, what I'm saying, for tapping in with the DNA as well. But that's all I have.
Yo, Ross Ben, I know we just asked about the course, but Ross Ben, he gonna give y'all something special. He gonna blow y'all heads back with this one. Ross Ben, you
Well,
really
hey, can I mention something about quartz real quick?
Go ahead, Chief.
We got to remember all of our modern technology, computer, everything that our computer and cell phones can do is enabled by quartz technology, right? Quartz is as far as we say, data storage, like memory and data management. There's no other crystal in the mineral, and communication, transmission of knowledge, right? Quartz, it's the real deal. Quartz is the most abundant element in our Earth's crust. 70% of our Earth's crust is silica, right? Which is quartz. Quartz is silica and oxygen, right? But it's 70% of our Earth's crust is silica. And so, when you factor that in, I know the elder had asked about the free energy, right? Quartz is piezoelectric, meaning when you put pressure on it, it discharges energy, right? So that can be a free energy approach of piezoelectric output with quartz. We could grow into seeing that as a free energy source and know how to really tap it. So quartz is very important. And most people are using quartz whether they know it or not. If they got a cell phone and a computer, they're using quartz. It's just that it's been denatured. It's not in its natural form, right? So we want to use, just like if we eat denatured food, we know over time that's going to be bad for us, right? And we're going to need to eat something natural to balance us out. It's the same way with the quartz. If all we're doing is using the computer and cell phone, and we're not incorporating quartz in its natural form in our lifestyle, it's going to grow to a problem. You know, it's going to be a problem. And I would even say the explosion we're witnessing as far as like ones in our community gravitating to crystals, right? I think it's because our body is like, you know, we're surrounded by unnatural crystal frequency, unnatural quartz frequency. And our body is like, yo, we gotta wear our intention, Orisha stone, you know? Like, you know, we need some natural crystal emanations. And quartz crystal, in my opinion, is like, let's say you just want a crystal for every day. Put in your pocket every day. Because you know colors, certain colors can have counter indications, right? Too much red, too much blue, it can impact your body, right? Too much yellow. You know, some colors you can wear every day, like purple and green. But let's just say you want a everyday crystal to definitely counteract this 5G EMF reality. Piece of quartz can't go wrong.
Let me ask you another question, because I got to ask you another question because only you can answer.
Yeah.
About amber, can you break down something about the way you broke down amber the last time? Can you break down amber for me, please?
All right. On a cosmological scale, the rarest crystal in the galaxy, in the universe, is wood. Okay? Gold and silver and platinum, all those things are being made on a solar scale, not a planetary scale, a solar scale. And as you know, our sun is what? Several times larger than the Earth, right? A different scale of size. And we know there are billions of stars in our galaxy, right? So when they explode, they make a lot of these metals that we consider rare on Earth, but on a cosmological scale, the rarest crystal that's being made in the galaxy is wood. So now, what is amber? Amber is the blood of wood, the resin of wood, right?
Fossilized resin, not just any resin, but resin that has been basically turned into a mineral of sorts over
Petrified. Yes,
millions of years. So
yes.
yes, very
So
rare, very
that would
rare
tell
remnants of
me
wood.
on a cosmological scale, amber is the rarest crystal in the galaxy. Not moldavite, not shungite, not all these you know, yeah. Like on a cosmological scale, they're in abundance. It's just not in abundance on Earth, right? But let's say we were able to think and move like an alien, right? Travel the cosmos. right? What would be one of the rarest? What would be one of the most valued crystals
Got it.
we'd be able to get? Piece of amber.
Mhm.
You got a piece of amber, you like, what? You know, you got the treasure of treasures on a galactic scale, right? And that's not even getting into the, what do you say, the properties of what amber does. But I'm sure we've all experienced frankincense on some level, right? Burning frankincense, smelling frankincense oil, right? It's a purifying oil. Well, imagine that oil turns into a rock. That's what amber is. Amber is petrified frankincense resin, right?
Mhm.
So, wow, when you think about that you could wear a piece of rock that was once living, right? So it's like shells. So, you know, they call these organic crystals in the family. So petrified wood, amber, uh, shells, bone, right? These are organic crystals because they were once alive, right? And they come from a living organism, but they've gone through some, because of time, they went through some form of petrification, turning into a rock, right? So what's amber? In that thought, it's a it's the resin of frankincense
Mhm.
petrified into a rock. How purifying is that to be able, when you say wear your intentions, right? Orisha Stone, what you say? Wear your intention, right? One of the, if I could say there's one stone, Moldavite's like that too. I see why you see Moldavite and amber in the same light, because like we say, if you're going to wear your intention, it's probably one of the most important stones to wear. Because we all want to, what do you say? Cleanliness is next to godliness, right? We all want to be clean in heart, clean hand, pure heart, right?
Mhm.
To be able to have something in amber that you wear is probably the clearest articulation of that intention you could have. You know, because what was brought to Jesus?
Frankincense and myrrh.
Frankincense, myrrh, and gold, right?
I see.
So, yeah. You know, it is what it is. Amber, and right, everyone talking about ETUFO in this time, and we're galactic humans and want to be interplanetary and all of that. Well, if we say we're on that frequency, we got to think cosmically. We got to think galactically, right? And so then we have to, what do you say, reevaluate or think about the value of things that are made in the cosmos, right? So now, example, right? Some characters will say the Anunnaki come here for gold, right? Aren't there people to say that? I doubt that. Because they could probably find a meteorite like 3i Atlas that just came through here that's full of gold. Right? If some intergalactic being was coming here to Earth, what would they be coming to get? My thought would be amber.
That was one of the things on their list. They had more than gold on their list. They had chlorine. They had amber, because they use the piezoelectricity to power their ships. So you right on point.
Yeah. My think, because that's the rarest crystal in the galaxy, found here on Earth.
Yo, we got to think about this part of it too, right? This place called Earth is an environment conducive to life because of trees. Without trees, right?
Yes.
Right. The Earth is not conducive to life. But there's another piece of it too that also ties into crystals, is that water, right? And the matrix, the molecular bond that water creates, in the way that the two hydrogen attached to the oxygen, it's an unusual configuration. And that configuration is the reason why ice floats when it's frozen. Any other liquid, if you freeze it, it sinks. If water were to sink, then life could not happen on Earth, because it would have just turned into a big, with each season of frozen at the bottom, they never thawed, the Earth would just be a big ball of ice.
Right.
And
every other liquid.
Every other liquid sinks when it solidifies, right? So
and
then
every other liquid condenses when it freezes.
While water expands, absolutely.
Water expands.
Right. And then so we also know that the crystal matrix of water also is the same matrix that is crystal quartz.
Information. It carries
same
information
matrix of quartz crystal. Yes. So these two, the it's almost like water represents the providence of the fluid on Earth. Crystal quartz represents the providence of the minerals on Earth. So energetically, vibrationally, these substances are key to us remaining connected to the Almighty, to the Grand Master Plan,
Sure. Ross, now I was gonna ask you a different one, because he already killed it with an amber. So I was gonna ask you a different one. I like what you teach on jade. Can you break down jade for us?
So jade, this is a year for jade for us. Like how some of these gym shows will render different minerals, oftentimes unexpectedly. We go in there maybe with a list of things we're looking for, and sometimes more time we come out with stuff that weren't on the list. And jade this year is one of those ones that definitely we came up this year. And so with the come up, it makes us revisit the attributes of the jade. The ones that stand out the most for I are the magic dream realm works, right? How jade impacts the dreaming state, our consciousness when we rest. It's second to none. That immortal mind. It's like the jade is one of those elements that help us tap into that immortal mind. Same way, that awareness of opulence, how like in the Far East it's reserved for royalty, because it's a reminder of the half that they always want to hide, the half that's never been told, is the infinite treasures part of life. You know what I'm saying? The infinite treasures part of our reality. The only reason why there is such a thing called lack is because some guy invented it to make folks be in a different frame of mind other than opulence, right? So the jade,
it's not our nature to be in lack.
It's not our nature. Our nature is opulence, and jade tends to keep us connected to that essential part of ourselves. It reminds us that we are keepers in our Father's many mansion of the infinite treasures. That's what it is. Yeah.
I always talk about how copper. We were just talking about earlier how if you need copper, you can always wear azurite, turquoise, crimson gold, and everything else. Now, jade is strong, is high in iron, right? What does jade heal in the body? They always say jade is a prosperity stone, but they the biggest ones. That's the one who created their health as well, because they always say jade, the jade emperor, gives you long life,
Immortality. Yes.
So, what in your body does jade heal?
Ross, Ben, what's the chemistry in jade, brother? You know that off the top of your head?
Well, now there's two forms of jade. There's Chinese
Right.
imperial jade and the indigenous American, like the jade we associate with the Omega, right? So now that Omega jade is made deep underground, like an ocean, underground in an ocean is where that Omega jade comes from. And I want to say manganese or magnesium, one of those elements, is an important part of that Omega jade. The Chinese jade, and a lot of people will also call that jadeite, meaning it's not real jade. It's jadeite. It's a silicate. So it's like a silica with other elements in it that manifests as that light green, right? So the like that indigenous American jade from Omega, it got a lot of elements in it. It's right, because I think some irons in it. But it's got one of the manganese or magnesium elements. I want to say magnesium.
Magnesium for sure, and nephrite.
Because that's what gives, nephrite jade is magnesium. Because that's what gives it the tranquiling, relaxing effect on our nervous system. Magnesium magnetizes our nervous system. Okay? Silica magnetizes the brain. We store like our organ that has the most silica in it is our brain. And when you study what the brain does, it does the same thing that our computers and cell phones do. That's what I was, reasoning on earlier, right? Quartz. Most silica in our body is stored in our brain, right? But we know our nervous system got to be magnetized too. So we ain't feeling stressed. And that Omega jade with that magnesium, wow. Because most magnesium stones are soft, right? Magnesium is a soft element. But I think in that jade, that Omega, that nephrite jade, thank you, Brethren, for giving me the right name for it. And nephrite means kidneys. And so that nephrite jade is really good for your nervous system and your kidneys. Yeah. Can't go wrong with it.
Yo, before I got to get ready to rotate y'all out to get the rest of them back in here. But before we leave out, like you were saying, Roz Nam is going to this gym show. Now, if we can't get to the gym show,
not just Ross Nine, I'm gonna be there too.
No, that's what I'm saying. Hear me out. If we can't get to the gym show, like whenever I go to the gym show, if somebody else can't, they'll invest in me to get certain things off the land. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pledge. I'm gonna go ahead and send Roz Nam a little cash app So I'm telling the people, get in contact with y'all, work it out. They can send you some money and you can do shopping for them too. And then y'all can wholesale together. You know what I'm saying? We get more. That's what Roz Nam was talking about earlier, wholesaling together.
Well, this is all I'm going to say on that, Brethren. And I'm sure a lot of people ain't going to want to hear this. But that buying and selling thing, working with the crystals is bigger than that. And coming together at the gym show with the right intention, the right collective, I think that's what we should be doing. So, and I guess I'm saying to say I ain't gonna be buying and selling for people.
I get it. And I get,
but
I don't get
at the same time, if we had a collective there, right? 20, 30 deep, 40 deep, 44 deep, right? We're gonna make it happen, man. We're gonna be fulfilling certain things. It's gonna be, you know, it's only right. It's that time. You know,
that's the beauty of the collective, is that each of us will have different things we have to fulfill there. What I maybe need to do there may not be exactly what Ross Ben has to do there. Same way, there may be folks who would be there if they had more notice and they can't be. So for that reason, Orisha Stone, after reasoning with you earlier, I will be willing to, you know, do some mediation. Folks need to get with me sooner than later. It's a lot to take in. This is why Ross Ben has his reservations. It is a very high energy process working through these gym shows. It's hard enough to go through, and we got our own shopping list. So it's more than a notion to go to these spots and shop for others. But just based on what you've done for us, opening up this platform, opening up, your community to us, I'll be willing to, with you kind of being a liaison, because I don't really know your folks like you know your folks. If there's folks who would, if they got some chips and they want to make investments, I'd be willing to do some scouting. But I don't want to be kitchen, the Cash App the day we're up there and trying to facilitate, folks' shopping lists spur of the moment. That I've tried it and it's not easy.
Trust me, I've been through. Look, we can talk about that. That's because that experience alone, when you're in a gym show, that experience alone, people be like, I need this, I need that. And they'll be like, you don't even know what's going on right now. But the reason I like doing it is because if you have your own investment group, if you have your own group of people that's really high vibrational, we ain't talking about just outside investors, we talking about our inside investors, our people, right? If you love stones, I love stones. I said, boom, I'm gonna send you $200-300. I send you $200-300. I'm looking for number green tourmalines. Look, I don't care what the deal is. We so busy on, I don't want to see you win. I don't want to see you. If you go with me and we go wholesale, right? We got to talk economics, because we can say that we don't care about money all day forever. Everybody they always say they don't care about money, except for the fact that you need gas money to get there. Except for you need a plane ticket there. Yeah. Except for after you get this pretty crystal, how do you make this work for you? We have to create with it, and we have to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not in that whole poor righteous teacher thing. That was cool while it lasted, I guess. That's not where I'm at with it. Somebody was talking about jewelry with stones that last forever. Yo, luxury is your culture, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? All that time talking about we can't move money back and forth with each other because we're ashamed to move money back and forth. No, I am business. Muhammad means business. What the so-called Prophet Muhammad, his whole name meant businessman.
Right. So that's what I say. I'd be willing to participate in it, but we got to do it in order, because, like you say, if we don't do it in order, a lot of times it'd be more confusion than what it's worth. So that's what I say.
If you're dealing with another guy, we shouldn't even have these conversations. That's slowing us down having those conversations.
True. Yes,
but I got to get ready to rotate out. So yeah, man, tell them how to get in contact with you real quick, guy, before I rotate.
So yes, I am the one and only Ras Naeem of Infinite Treasures.
I'm sorry. What you say, young elder? You had a question for him?
Nah, I just need everybody to tell them where they could get their jewelry from, because there's a lot of people that want to get the jewelry from all the people. So yeah, make sure you drop your information and how they can get in contact with you to get the jewelry, because that's important.
Yes, So www.aeon, infinitetreasures.org or www.infinitetreasuresllc.com is where you can find these original handcrafted works, wearable and spiritual works. Yes, we call them infinite treasures. I am the one and only Ras Naeem. So yes, that's where you can find us. That's what we're doing. We're making these ancient future technologies for the souls of today that are about that change, that dynamic transformation.
I'm sure. Say real quick before you check out, I want to ask because we got all business people on right now, right? I Am Seg has a business, Universal got a business, Winter got a business. Now in this middle world, why are we? When it comes to us, we always put extra rules when it comes to melanated people. We don't put the rules on the white man and the Chinese man for selling gemstones, and not only they selling it, they stealing it. But when we come to buying it, we can't even deal in our own stones. Y'all putting new rules on us. This is where it'd be kind of hard to respect the elders because they not making it make sense. Don't make no rule for me that you didn't make for that white man. How about that? You see what I'm saying? Don't make no rules. Don't try to push the goalposts. We can't push the goalposts every time we're trying to do something economics that other people never tried to do. So when I bring people on, we're talking about business. I need to figure out how we can help each other because all that talking, that's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? We got to start putting action in. So when I bring people on here, God is winning. What's the name of your business? How can we get in contact with you? How can we support your business? Are those stones free you be buying? You get free stones from somewhere?
No, I don't.
Oh, you
Sometimes
buy
I get
stones,
like a
right?
blessing,
How can we
but for the
support
most
you to keep
part,
doing what you're doing? Is copper free right now?
nah.
How can we support you to keep doing what you're doing? Tell us something.
Yeah, support me through my business. Support me through all of these artifacts I've been making. I got so many things that just be coming to me, and they when I'm in festivals and stuff, it wants to leave. Sometimes, like I do deals with people because I'm like I can see that this resonates with your energy. So you can go to my Instagram or straight to the website, and that's Artifacts of New. So NUW ARTFACTS of NUW, and I'll pull right up.
I say appreciation. Universal. You showed a couple of your pieces off. Let me see. Yeah.
And
How
I've
can we get in
been
contact with you? What that piece mean? What it represent?
this right here is matter of fact, this that new crystal I came across. I say new in the sense of marketing wise. It's sunstone mixed with labradorite. You know, sunstone mixed with labradorite. And with most of my pieces, you know, intention wise, you could kind of pay attention to where I put these little almost like lightning strike type of lines. You know, you could set intentions with the number of those lines that's in the pieces, you know, like you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could tap in with the energy of 6 with my pieces, you know what I'm saying? Or with this piece in particular, you know what I'm saying? I got this one right here. And it just, you know, it flows in my creative process. So it also kind of just has a flow. Like this one kind of got the yoni shape. You know, it may have a more of a divine feminine vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? Got the little coil at the top, you know. But you could link from my Instagram page. My Instagram page is just some bumblebee jasper. My Instagram page is Epic Lifestyles, Epic with a K, EPIK, Lifestyles with a Z at the end, LIFESTYLEZ. And that's also where you can find my Etsy shop. You go on Etsy, it'll be Epic Lifestyles, you know what I'm saying? And you can order from Instagram or from Etsy. So either way, you know, and I got a little faceted Labrador right there.
That's hard. That's hard.
You know, and I'm using the liver of sulfur for patina. So most of all of the pieces I have right now got like a dark patina on it to kind of give it like that ancient look, you know. And I'm even patinaing the chains too. This one I call so even with this one is like the Kundalini rising because it looks like a little serpent, a little cobra, and then you got the eye vibe, you know, got the little 2 lightning strikes right there with the 3. I think that's 3, so it's like a 5 energy you could tap in with, you know. Blue kyanite from India. So yeah.
I say. Yeah, man. I Am Seg. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I create according to the individual. So when you work with me, we're going to talk about your vision and your mission, and I create something specifically for you. So all of my things are, hey, I work with superheroes, people that came here to do that work. So mastervibration13.com is where you could find me. That is my mystery school. So if you want to learn about orgone technology and learn about protecting your intellectual property with private ministry, check out a 508C1A trust. Do your research on it. And when you're ready to go to school, come see me. I'm there.
I say.
Hey, the other brother didn't say where we could get his jewelry. The brother, right, the brother in the middle. He didn't say where we could get it, did it? 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
typing it
Oh,
all
so
in.
yeah, so you could get it through my Instagram, Epic Lifestyles, or you could get it through my Etsy shop. You know, my Etsy shop is Epic Lifestyles again, EPIKLIFESTYLEZ. You know what I'm saying? And tap in. And again, of course, if you want any extra, you know, what I call my free gems and my charity to the world, it's my YouTube channel. That's where all the free gems at. All you need is to pay your phone bill, you know, and you get nothing but free gems from the YouTube channel. You feel me? So the YouTube channel is Universal Frequencies, and you know, that's it right there.
I say. Rise now. Show and tell, man. We want to support you, man. First off, what you got for us, and how can we support?
So yeah, we got a lot. 30 years in the lab have yielded a lot. Let me reverse my camera to give you a quick glimpse of what's right in front of me. Let me see if I can figure this out. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. That do it? Yeah, there they go. So yeah, I just pulled a couple things out the bag. That tourmaline came up in the discussion tonight. So this is one of those handheld ankhs with the double black tourmaline in the handle, double terminated black tourmalines crowned with the smoky quartz. When we talking about protection and deflection, yes, and right, transmutation. This is one of them things. Again, I've been doing a lot of work recently where we're fusing the wood, and this will be a new line of ankhs where your birth chart, where the astrology will actually be rendered into the ankh. So a reading will be done, your chart will be read, and then the deductions that we get from what's happening in the heavens relevant to your astrological chart will then be fashioned into the wearable ankhs, carved into the wood, the symbols that balance out the components of our chart, all positioned in these these mystical wonders. So of course the website is the best source, www.infiniteTreasures.org. But you can also find us on IG, Infinite Crystal Ankhs, and on Facebook. So yes, I give thanks again and again for the continued inspiration, support, encouragement, the exchange of ideas. So much is born out of collaboration. So yeah, I'm thankful to be invited into this collective and ever inspired. Just know that it don't stop. It won't stop around these parts. The innovation. My brother, young elder, said, "Yo, what's up with the magnets? What's up with the institute and the magnet center? We on that track. This one got that pink kyanite in there with the magnets here. The magnets rotating, right? And
Magnets.
what is that? The epidote, the magnetic epidote. Yeah, so we're working them in, not necessarily say for the transmission of like devices, more so the activation of the holy temple, you know? Yeah.
I love the fact that, man, none of us knew what we were going to bring, what our art looked like. None of that. Each one of us showed an unk. Each one of us had an unk for our own design. Hold on.
For winners website, is that new spell NEW or NUWN? Just got it spelled.
NUW.
Oh, N is NEU.
Yeah,
I mean
NU.
W.
It's
Or
a
like
U instead
noon,
of a
like
E.
noon.
Yeah.
So
Here,
it's NUW.
I'll type it in there for you.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us had the same kind of energies. We all work with the
Oh
same
yeah, that's fire, Richard.
stones. Everything he said he worked with, all of us said the same kind of stones. It's just art. All we're doing is putting art to it. They were talking. Somebody said in the comments it'd be nice to have stones that they last forever. That's when you get into the fine gemstones, get into the silver and everything. But the copper, silver, to do the same thing. This is just us putting our art to it. That's obsidian and 3 ruby star sapphires with the python on there, pearls and bone. Like you're talking about them organic things. This is pearl and bone.
Oh, dang. That's, that's
And it's time to upgrade too, man. I know everybody wants the but and stuff like that, but we got to start upgrading to specimens, stuff like that, man. We got to have stuff around your home. This serpentine with a ruby star sapphire and a third eye, and that represents paninke or Pakal. This is azurite. You know what I'm saying? You get you some stones that are museum specimens, carvings, things around your house, meteorites. My bad. Go on. And like I said, man, maybe if you're in the tumblestone business, because in the tumblestone business, these people steal your land. These crystal shops, these people steal your land and come back and sell you the tumblestones, and you pay for it. No questions asked. There's no problem with it. Stop acting funny when you see these melanated people, these indigenous, these people that have been on these corners, these star seeds and everything. As soon as you see them asking for something, they had to buy the stone, they had to buy the copper, silver, or gold to create it. They had to sit there and take the time, be bent over, slumped over, to weld it, wire wrap it, do whatever it was to do it. And they talking about some no, man, this is currency, the universal cosmic order of things, currency. Everything now you do the job for the universe. If you're working for the universe pays. It pays good too. So with that, man, we're about to get out of here, man. Young Elder, what you got coming up, Chief? What you got? Hey, did you have any questions about any crystals? Because I mean, I wanted to do it with you because we always talking about the Lyrians and all these wars, but all those wars started over crystal technology. Even Atlantis was took down because they were doing too much with crystal technology.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, they was trying to use the crystals to ascend to create the same thing they was doing. They doing with CERN. They was doing with CERN. That's what they was doing in Atlantis. So they were trying to figure out how to create a machine to help them ascend, and they got only so far before they hit a wall, and that wall caused the explosion. But they figured out that they can do it manually without having machines, and that's when they came out with the schooling of the chakra. They teach it in Hinduism, how to ascend using the chakras and to the Christ consciousness and all that. So that connects because you got that pineal gland is a crystal as well, a living crystal as well inside of our brains, and then it produces certain types of. It actually liquefies crystal. The pineal gland from sun transmuting the sunlight, right? So yeah, and then they talk about Crystal City which is like a huge mothership that's mentioned of in the Injil Revelations 21, where it describes 12 levels and 12 different crystals that they use, and that's dealing around the piezoelectricity. So they definitely didn't come here just for gold, even though that city is made transparent to gold. It's actually 12 different types of stones that power the city, right? So the crystals, man, like I was saying, I don't even think we tapped into the half on the level of what we can go with the crystals. Man, it's unlimited, I think, as far as energy wise, that we can go with those crystals, man. It's big.
And don't forget, man, you in Publix, go find you some black walnuts. Skip the sugar, get the black walnuts and chew on that, man, for the snack. When you get the money. Hey, man, I appreciate it. What's that, Chief?
If you got a sugar craving too, raisins is good for just the curve.
Yeah, I'm about to start with the cranberry stuff too.
The cranberries too.
Help the real wealth. After that, it's commodities. Fuck what they talking about, man. All that damn poor righteous teacher shit, that shit's dead. You know what I'm saying? Luxury is your code. Tap in. You got a lot of like if you see an artist, I hate when you see a black artist and they die and they get rid. I mean, now everybody want to tap into them. No, tap into these black artists right now. Because at the end of the day, the stone's gonna do what the stone's gonna do. We just put our art to it. So with that, man, here, man, we appreciate y'all. And yeah, man, peace to the guys. Oh, I am saying, please give us your information one last time. She wanted to get it up in there.
Mastervibration13.com. If you got the guts, go ahead and hit me direct. 818-233-5776. Let's talk.
You started, and you say, I'm glad you said that about vibration. When you started, you came on with the singing bowl, because guess what? We talked about crystals to a little bit, and we got constructed a little bit. But one thing about crystals is they ran on vibration. They ran on sound and light. So those vibrations, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about certain people come to you because they can't get on your vibration. So yeah, we'll leave out with some good vibrations. I'll say. Yeah, you can go ahead and end it out. Goddess Moot. Peace to the tribe, peace to the clans, man. Support, hit that like, use your hand chakra, hit that like button.
Thanks.
Ache.
Every rap is intentional, a reminder that we are all connected